আসুন কোথায় গেলেন? ভালো আছেন?
Sir, you need to make me the host. Sir, you need to make me the host.
Away from the seat.
Okay, maybe we can just start and I shall share it once sir will make me the host. Is it fine?
Yeah, we can move on. It's a little. Let's go.
Yeah. So today we will start with scales of measurement. Now, in psychometrics or in any form of research, we collect data, right? And data could be qualitative or data could be quantitative. Can you people share with me what could be the qualitative data and what can be the quantitative data?
Qualitative data is like taking interviews and transcripting the interviews and getting interpretation from that.
Yes, true. Then it can be observations also, observing something, making a note, right? And quantitative?
Giving questionnaire and collecting data.
Yes, that is the most popular way of collecting quantitative data, survey questions. So there are some positive as well as negative points when we are collecting data in qualitative terms or quantitative terms. So in qualitative terms, it gives us object attributes, object properties, and descriptive statements. In the sense, suppose you want to, you are experimenting school-going children or say autistic child. You want to experiment certain things on them, or you are trying to find out whether this child is having autistic characteristics or not. So here, instead of giving a questionnaire, because a child will not be able to fill up the questionnaire, so we can actually observe the activities. Observing the activities, we are coming to a certain conclusions, and we are collecting data here in terms of observing them. Then it can be, the questionnaire can be given, say for the same experiment, the questionnaire can be given to the child's parents. So when we are giving the questionnaire and collecting the data in those terms, then again we are collecting quantitative data. Understood, I guess?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is kind of an introduction to this scales of measurement. The moot point here is why we want to study scales of measurement, because when we are collecting data, it can be in quantitative form, it can be in qualitative form. Now, when we are collecting data in qualitative form, that can give us certain attributes, but we cannot perform certain statistical tests on those data. Whereas when we are collecting the quantitative data, maybe we can perform the tests, but then again, it might not give us the overall picture. In the sense, when usually when a questionnaire starts, we will find that maybe the age of the person is given, maybe the gender of the person is needed. So suppose we are comparing something, the attitude of or the attitude towards work stress in between female employees and male employees. So here we need to collect the data on gender, which is a qualitative data, so that we can compare the two responses. Now, we need to have the idea of scales, because when we are collecting data, we must know what to do further with this data. What can I do with that information ultimately, right? That's why we need to understand that which scales we will be applying for further statistical calculations on the collected data. So this is called level of measurement. The most primitive level, I will say, the nominal. So in nominal data, we are actually naming the variables. As I was discussing, I want to differentiate, or I want to compare something, how the woman reacts on certain things and how the man reacts on certain things. So the gender is a nominal data, nominal form of data, which I shall be collecting in my questionnaire. Now, I can name female gender as 1. I can name male gender as 2. So I am trying to, I'm trying to just name this data by 1 and 2, even if I'm giving the numeric value to this, but it will not help me in any type of statistical or mathematical calculations, will it? Can we join this 1 plus 2 and come to a 3? We can't, right?
Yes, yes.
So nominal data is basically to identify things, to name variables for identification. Then the next level is ordinal. So in ordinal, we are collecting data in some order. Can you give any example of ordinal data where we are giving some order to the collected information?
It is like ranking first, second, third.
Right. It's like ranking first, second, third. It's like, suppose I'm asking whether you are given 3 options: Indigo, SpiceJet, and AirAsia. So now you rank them as per your satisfaction with the service, with the service providers. So you may rank Indigo 1, or you may rank AirAsia 1, rest of the 2 as 2 and 3. So these are rank order. So we are collecting the data in some order. So here we are naming as well as we are giving some order, or say some magnitude to the data. Then comes the interval. So in interval scale, what we are doing, interval scales have name as well as order, as well as we are able to calculate the difference between 2 intervals. That is the difference between 2 orders. So we are giving some magnitude here also. Okay, let me go through the next slides, then it will be much more clear. And the last one is a ratio scale, where we are actually collecting some numeric values. Yeah, so this nominal scale, we have already understood, where data is collected basically to identify some object. So examples are like gender, political affiliation, or religious affiliation. These are the examples. So this collected data can be represented in numbers, but the numbers are arbitrary only. We cannot do any further calculation on these numbers. Now, this is, are you able to see this slide? This is a personality questionnaire using nominal scale. So each and every item you can answer in yes or no terms.
What is the point? I didn't get the point.
Yeah, come again, Prasanna.
No, what is the statement you made?
Oh, so this is a personality questionnaire which is using where we are collecting data in the form of a nominal scale. So the respondent will be giving their answers in yes or no terms.
Okay. So Roy, is it any possibility that you can mute the audio? Too much background noise.
Yeah, I
You.
think.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, now it's far better. Okay, then we are coming to ordinal scale. So as I said, data is arranged in some order. So it will allow rank individuals or object, but the difference between data values cannot be determined. So say when I am saying that the service as a service provider, Indigo is first, SpiceJet is second, and AirAsia is third. So I cannot say that by how many digits or by how many numeric values Indigo's service is better than SpiceJet, right? Understood? I need one response.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here we cannot get any values between these two ranks. But then many of the things like customer satisfaction and all, we actually measure in terms of ordinal scale. So this is one example of such a scale where something is asked, where people are replying in between strongly agree to strongly disagree.
Okay.
So maybe you may be covering in the later part. So does it mean that ordinal scale measurement is targeting to give you a grouping of information or a context and what area this particular thing is working well or not? Is it the right understanding?
Come again?
No, this ordinal scale,
Yes.
whatever we are showing in the screen or any perspectives to that, it's like kind of a grouping the user information such a way that giving an outcome that what is primarily working or not working in a given context. Is it a right understanding?
Yeah, true.
Okay. Okay.
So even in customer satisfaction also, suppose I'm a full service restaurant chain and I want to know that which of my attributes are actually making my customers happy. That is called nowadays happiness index, not only satisfaction. Now like restaurant and all food and in food services, people are looking forward to happiness index and customers happiness. So I want to know that what are the attributes of my service are actually making my customers happy, so that they will recommend me to their friends or they will come back in the next time. So that can be the interior of the that particular place. That can be the behavior of the service staff. So here when I will be collecting data in these terms, say strongly something you like our interiors, from strongly agree to strongly disagree. So if most of the answers I am getting in strongly agree, then I can understand that this is one of my strength area. Like interiors is something which most of the people are liking. This is one of my strength area. Likewise, in the same way, I can understand which are the areas which are the my weakness area, so that I can focus on improving upon the weakness, or maybe I can focus on even much more improvement on the strength. So like Prasanna sir, you were saying that most of the data where this is going, so we can understand from that where exactly we need to focus as a restaurant chain or a chain as a service provider, I must say. So that is ordinal scale. Yeah. Then we have interval scale. Now here the problem is with ordinal scale is like in between two numbers, or say in between two ranks, I cannot understand the value in between two, or the interval numeric value in between two. Say first and second, whatever is the magnitude in between them might not be the same as second and third. So interval scale is giving me equal intervals between two values. That means say, okay, let me first ask you if you can give any example of this. This is a very popular, or say, this example is given everywhere, temperature measurement in Fahrenheit. It's an interval scale, but anything beyond this, if you can think of.
When you say interval, it is a range, right?
Yes, it's a range.
Okay. That means generally school marks 80 to 90, 90 to 100. That could be one example.
Yeah. So, yes. So suppose I'm giving just grades like A, B, C, D, and I'm giving grades on the basis that people who are in between 90 to 100, they are in A grade. Who are in between 80 to 90, these are in B grade. So now when I'm assigning marks to that grades, then I'm converting my ordinal scale towards the interval scale. Or say, nowadays we usually buy this our clothing from retail chains. So we go by the size, right? Small, extra small, small, large, medium, etc., etc. So here, suppose now the sizes have their comparative thing in inches also. Say this medium is around 38 inches, large is around 40 inches. Now, when I am giving this particular criteria that large is 40 inches, I am making an ordinal scale and interval one. Understood?
Okay.
If I only say something extra small, then medium, large, XL, double XL, then you cannot understand, right, that in between extra small and small, what is the value difference? In between small and medium, what is the value difference? It can be same, it might not be same. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. But if
Dharani, go ahead.
But if this is like, yes, small is always 36, medium is always 38, and large is always 40, then we are getting two units in between two orders. So here again, I'm making the ordinal scale and interval scale. And actually in our experiments, we most of the times in say in subjects like psychology or other things where we are kind of trying to measure attitude of a person or these personality traits, our questionnaire is formed in a way that it's towards the ordinal scale, like the one I was showing, customer satisfaction survey, something which I strongly disagree towards or something which I strongly agree with. Then nowadays what we are doing, we are actually making this, converting these scales into numerical values. Say for strongly disagree, I am putting 1, and for strongly agree, I am putting 5. And in between, I am collecting the data. So here, by giving the numbers, I'm trying to do away with the problems of an ordinal scale, and I'm trying to convert these numeric things. I'm trying to take the data in numeric terms so that it can be an interval scale. Because in interval scale, we can perform the most of the statistical calculations can be performed on interval scale, because we are sure of that there is the difference between two values is equal. So this is the moot point of an interval scale, where we are having equal intervals between two values.
So
it okay?
is it right to say that the ordinal ones is more of a grouping of the qualitative information, wherein this ranges is all about quantitative grouping, like the marks or whatever you name it?
Yes,
Uh,
exactly.
okay.
Exactly. So let me show you this one. This is called STAI inventory, state trait anxiety inventory. See here, I feel calm. This is my one of my item. So here I could have put agree, somewhat agree, strongly disagree. Instead of that, same thing, I'm trying to get the answers in numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. This one can be my strongly agree. This 4 can be my strongly disagree. So instead of getting the responses in qualitative terms, I want to get my response in quantitative terms so that I can perform the statistical calculations on them more easily. So this is the one I was trying to explain, right? Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now the highest one is the ratio scale. So ratio scale, we are getting the information in numeric terms, say height of something, weight of something. And in ratio scales, another difference between interval and ratio scale is in interval scales, we don't have any absolute zero. But in ratio scale, we will be having absolute zero. Say distance, it can be zero distance, it can be some 100 kilometers, it can be 200 kilometers. Something you are measuring in distance, something you are measuring in particular numeric terms, that is ratio scales. So ratio scale supports all the statistical calculations and all numeric calculations. Okay, now I would like to stop it here with something. I have given one, this thing. Let me switch on my video. Yeah, so I have given one assignment in our Google Classroom, which actually I wanted you people to complete within the class itself, because now you are having a clear idea on this scales of measurement. Later on, you might forget. So should I give the link in the chat box and you may take 15 minutes to complete this? Is it okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to access it. You can use that.
Okay. So let me give this. Just give me a moment. In the meantime, if you are having any questions, you can ask me. Okay, so I have just provided the link in the chat box. Now I'm switching off my video and audio. I will wait for 15 minutes. There are 10 questions. So it should ideally take not more than 15 minutes. And let's get back after say 15 minutes, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I already filled this form.
Okay, you have already done this?
Yes, ma'am.
Both of you? Okay,
No, I'm
fine.
doing. I just
Okay,
started.
yeah. Then let's wait, Dharani, let's wait for around 10 minutes. Sir will be able to.
Okay, ma'am.
Is it done?
Almost. I'm just reviewing the answers.
Yeah, sure.
It's done, Shani.
So here I think I did something where I have to check manually. So let me just go through these questions and get the answers from you. So the first one is highway route numbers represent which scale? So which scale this is?
Yes,
Just give the answers.
it should be nominal.
Right. So it's only naming.
Yeah.
Nothing more. Now, national debt is measured in which scale?
Just give me one. I'm opening the class again to see the questions.
Okay, fine.
National debt. What I gave. I gave a ratio.
Right. So it can be 0. It can have an absolute 0 value as well.
Okay.
Next one is shoe size expressed in which scale?
Ordinal.
It is, I think, ordinal.
Both are saying ordinal.
Yeah.
It's interval, isn't it?
Is it interval?
Yes, interval. It can't be 0. And in between, say, number 5 and number 6, the difference can be calculated.
Okay.
So absolute 0 exists in which scale? You can get the number from my previous question itself.
Ratio.
Sure.
Right.
I made a mistake.
Right. Calendar year is an example of which one?
Interval.
Right. Zip code?
Again, nominal.
Right. So here amount of calories in a which chunk is measured in?
Ratio.
Yeah.
That is how the post will be there in every bottles. How much percentage sweet is there?
Okay, and which of this is not an example of a nominal scale?
Some grades.
Exam grades, right? That can be ordinal, that can be this thing interval, but not a nominal one. Then which of this is ordinal measurement?
I gave second option, a scale from 1 to 4 measuring life satisfaction.
Yes, I think so.
Right, because whole number indication of a person's age in years, that will be again ratio. And this is the last one.
Oh. I gave ratio.
Any other thing, Dharani? Any other opinion?
No. I think it is. I think I gave second option.
Interval. Okay, chalo, at least one question. You are a little bit confused. So this is nominal.
Okay.
What you are exactly, what the police is taking down, the number of the car, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Number of the car represent only a identification for that particular car. Doesn't represent anything else.
Right. Okay, correct.
But I must say I'm very happy. Great response. So most of the things you are clear of. The idea is very clear, very nice. Okay. So we were. Yeah. So this is kind of summing up the thing. So we have quantitative and qualitative data. Then quantitative data again can be discrete and continuous. Sorry. So discrete means that will be always in whole numbers. You cannot break that. Say the number of people somewhere. So it cannot be 1.5, right? Either 1 or 2. And continuous data, which you can break actually into parts. So then with continuous data, we can use interval scale or ratio scale, and qualitative data, nominal scale or ordinal scale. And this is again summing up the whole thing. So these are the basic characteristics of nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio scales, which we have already covered. So in nominal, numbers only identify, numbers are used only for identification, nothing else, like the number in the cars, like the other numbers, say route, what is the highway, NH something. So this is only identifying that particular road and nothing else. And what we can do with that data, like we can go for percentage or mode, which is occurring maximum number of times, like this. So this much computational things will be there. So same way we have for ordinal data, we have certain things. So these slides will be shared to you in Google Classroom, that there only we will, the first slide also I have to share. So there is no worry, which this we can read later also. So these are basically summing up all the things, and this is giving you an idea of what are the permissible statistics which can be performed on this kind of data.
Why not interval is also a 0.6? Like if you have a range 0 to also you can start, right? So there is a absolute 0 is there. Why can't we say that?
No, in interval actually there is no absolute 0. Interval, you can we can say that we are giving some magnitude, some equal magnitude between two ranks. So say again, when we are measuring temperature in the other scale, Kelvin scale, that's a ratio scale, and Fahrenheit is a interval scale. So interval, say the age well, h can be 0, or say the mass of something which cannot go 0. So the concept of interval is it's starting with certain things. There cannot be absence of that thing. Total absence of that thing cannot be there.
Okay. Because why specifically I asked Susi, right? So in a temperature, 0 is also in a valid value, right?
Right. So that is a Kelvin scale we are talking of. So that's why here we have mentioned that Fahrenheit. So in Fahrenheit, 0 is only representing some type of temperature.
Okay.
So it can be in minus also. So now in temperature also, this cannot be like nothing is there. It's only we are measuring that this much is this much. Say in degrees, we are measuring something. There will be some temperature, right? It can be the minimum level. It can be in the highest level. But you cannot say there is nothing.
Okay, I hear you.
Okay. And this is why this is important. This is basically important to understand because when we are collecting data, then we will be having the understanding that yes, we can have this type of statistical or mathematical computations on our collected data. So that's why an idea of scales is required. Now there is something called scaling technique. And there are two major differences. One is comparative scaling and another one is non-comparative. So in comparative scaling, basically we are comparing something, we are giving some order, we are giving some ranks. So this comparative scaling is similar to ordinal scale. And non-comparative scaling is similar to interval as well as ratio scales. So let me take you through the examples, and it will be much more convenient to understand. So one type of comparative scales is paired comparison. Suppose I'm asking Domino's pizza or Pizza Hut's pizza, which one you like? So you are comparing two things. It has to be in a pair, in paired comparison scale, where you cannot put more than two things. So you are giving two things and the respondent is comparing in between those two things and giving you an answer. Say Bollywood movies or South Indian movies. Which is your favorite? Bollywood movies or Hollywood movies? Which one you like more? So this is paired comparison. Understood?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So paired comparison is a basic one. Then the next one, next level scale, in comparative scale only, we have rank order. So here you are ranking on something. So suppose, as I was saying, see in ordinal scale, we saw that I can, customers' happiness or customer satisfaction, I can get the response in one ordinal scale. So here also, suppose I'm giving certain statements, I like the interior, then I like the taste of food here, then I like the courteousness of the staff. So here you have to, the respondent have to rank all these statements in 1, 2, 3, 4 in some order. So again, here we are collecting data where they're comparing certain things and giving a rank to that. So here people are actually forced to prioritize the statements which are given. So all these satisfaction survey or like, suppose you want to compare the service of, say again, two these airline service providers, or say to telecom service providers. So here you can actually rank, but then for one individual service provider, you have to have one questionnaire, and there people can actually rank the different items, so that you can understand that what is going wrong and what is going good in your service or in your company, like that.
When you say high or low,
Yeah.
how can it be a rank order? Like, is it? It's again look like high to low. Sorry, high to low, right? So, are we saying that we are giving a range? Now, okay, better, much better, like that. That's what you are trying to say, or something else?
So yeah, so like highest, somewhat.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so this is kind of an example. Let me, this I have only taken from net only. So you are here, it's kind of for fitness, some attributes are given, and then you are ranking those attributes as per your particular choice or your particular attitude towards it. So what do you do? Measuring steps, calorie burned, what is according to you, which should be having the first rank, which is having the most value in your opinion. So questionnaires like this, these are rank order. Then we have one constant sum scale. Now this is kind of a nominal curve it will provide. Okay, so suppose you are asked that you are going to purchase a home, and these are different attributes, say price, location, there is school nearby or not, in which district it is. This is not required. So like this, there are some attributes given, and you are given a total value of 100. Now you are asked to divide this 100 value among these attributes.
Can you reiterate the statement? What does it mean?
Yeah, so suppose this is one example. So suppose you are going to purchase a home. Now there are some attributes provided, say price of the house, location, the features that the house is having, say some interiors or the paints and all, in whether schools are there or not, in which district it is. So these are certain aspects given, and you are asked to distribute 100, this value 100 among these aspects. So your scale is having a constant sum, maybe 100, maybe 50, maybe something. So you may give price, say 30. You may give location, say 15. You may, whether school is around or not, you may give some 25. So overall, this should come to 100.
Similar to
Okay.
ratio or?
Kind of weightage, kind of weightage that you are giving. It's not exactly similar to ratio. It is again, you are giving some rank, some order, but maybe in numeric terms. So it's similar to one ordinal scale only, because if you are giving this price 30, that means you are giving this first order, right? Then whether schools are around or not, you are giving, if you are giving 25, maybe you are giving it the second order. But you are giving that in terms of numeric values, or say you are giving kind of weightage.
Okay.
So this is another type of a scale, which is called constant sum scale. These are some this comparative scales which are used. Okay, this one maybe we can do in our next class because there is one more and we have to complete the non-comparative scales also. So we will continue this topic in the next class.
Okay.
Okay. Any questions so far? Okay, there was one more assignment given, that is a small write-up is asked from you on the difference between psychometric and applied psychometric. So we expected it by Friday. If it's not possible, then before Monday, you try to complete that.
How many words?
Say around 300 words, not much.
Okay, 1 page. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for joining in. And I have also put up the routine. Overall, like we will not deviate much from the routine. We will try to stick to it. But then maybe one class ka idhar udhar ho sakta hai. I mean, for one class, something may carry on to the next class. Otherwise, overall, a routine I have given for this month. Next class we will conclude this scales of measurement and then we will start items.
Okay.
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 Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Cheers. Good night. Bye.